The biggest thing I see in this issue is that we need to wean ourselves off of legalized gambling. It is a huge, too big a portion of our revenue here, and we've just got to wean ourselves off of it because it's just going to be more competitive all the time. You know, we're making a lot of money over in the Eastern Panhandle, it seems, and losing revenue here. And you got Ohio coming in with things. You got something new coming to Maryland. This is never going to end. But we need to grow our economy, and gambling can't be the growth mechanism to get our state to where it needs to be. We need to wean ourselves off of it.
Thank you, Mr. Tomlin. We rely on legalized gambling for hundreds of millions of dollars a year in revenue, both for state and local governments. But competition from other states is growing. What should our policy be toward legalized gambling?
I think that we need to look at diversifying our economy as much as possible. And I think that, you know, we've got to protect those gaming jobs. They've been very good, especially to the northern panhandle. But obviously, when the competition gets a little bit stronger, we've got to have a product that we can continue to be competitive with out there. But until, you know, and I think that we have the opportunity with Marcellus Shell to be able to replant some of those jobs that we have here in another industry. But obviously, I'll be supportive of the tracks and those jobs out there, you know, until those new jobs come along. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Baber, we rely on legalized gambling for hundreds of millions of dollars a year in revenue, both for local and state governments. But competition from other states is growing. What should our policy be toward legalized gambling?
Well, personally, I really don't care for gambling. You know, I've lived most of my life as an Appalachian poet. One time I got introduced that way at a conference, and a fellow jumped up and said, if that ain't a formula for poverty, I never heard one. So, you know, we're going to have to compete with the other states. In an ideal world, you know, none of the states would have gotten the gambling business, but they are in the gambling business. And Mr. Tomlin is absolutely right that we're just going to have to compete with these other states. When they do something, we'll have to do something because we're dependent on the money. So I don't think that's really going to change.
Thank you. Any reaction to that, Mr. Maloney?
One thing I just want to add, it seems like we always pick winners and losers. You talk about picking winners. The gambling industry is an industry that we seem to help every step of the way. We need to get rid of these subsidies to greyhound breeders, to, you know, slot machines going in with tax credits and special deals. These special backdoor deals that happen at the last second of the legislative session every year, they've got to stop.
Any reaction to Mr. Tomlin?
Well, first of all, for the greyhound or the thoroughbred breeders, there's no tax dollars going into that. That's the vendors' dollars out there. But let's get beyond that, though. You know, we're talking about hundreds of jobs, you know, in our state out there. So I think that, you know, until we can find other jobs to replace those with, I think it's very important to keep every person that we can working in the state of West Virginia.